Hi guys, this is Mr. Rittner, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a combo graph for your noise pollution lab. So this way you'll be able to be able to analyze your data more effectively. Now we're going to go ahead and get started here, and you can see that I've already kind of filled in my data table here, but you'll have your own sort of like a spreadsheet template available on Google Classroom that you'll need to fill in with values that you collected when you went around and got your data using the Arduino Science Journal app, the sound intensity. So you can see I went with 3 different environments. You can name them whatever you want. I'm just going to go with environments 1, 2, and 3 for the sake of simplicity. And then for each one, I reported my average, minimum, and maximum sound intensity values. This is obviously going to be measured in decibels, but we're going to leave the units out, otherwise we're going to end up confusing the computer. And you'll see for threshold of safety, it's always going to be 85. So the threshold of safety is a value determined by OSHA. It's a federal agency designed to kind of regulate the workplace. And they determined that, when sound goes above 85 decibels, that can be detrimental to human health, like hearing and stuff like that. So my values will be different from yours because you'll have recorded your own data, but everyone's going to have the threshold of safety the same of 85. Now you'll see on your template, I left sort of written instructions of how to do a combo graph, but obviously I'm going to walk you through it. So feel free while I'm going through the video with you, you can always pause that tutorial and kind of follow along while I'm doing it. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started because it's actually pretty straightforward. So as we know, anytime we're creating any kind of graph and we have our data in the spreadsheet, we're going to go ahead and select that data so the computer knows what it needs to sort of create a chart with. Once I've highlighted that, I'll go up to the Insert menu here, and then I'm going to go ahead and select Chart. Now right away, the computer does its best to kind of give me the graph it thinks I want to see, but I'm going to make a few changes, right? So number one, this is a column graph, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I want to have columns and lines, hence the combo graph. So we'll talk more about how that works in a second. Also notable is that on our horizontal axis, we've plotted average, minimum, maximum threshold of safety. That's not really what I want. What I actually want are the 3 different environments. I want that on the horizontal axis. So we're going to have to make a little bit of an adjustment. And then of course we have to add our horizontal and vertical axes labels, and I want to get rid of this title because we know the title is going to ultimately go in our figure caption that we'll work on probably next time. Anyway, let's start. I've removed that title, but let's start by getting the environments on the horizontal axis. And the best way to do that is in Chart Editor under Setup. Scroll to the bottom and you'll see this option here for switch rows and columns. Basically, it gives us the flexibility that we can kind of manipulate the graph to display exactly what we want. And so by switching our rows and columns, now I have the 3 different environments listed out on the horizontal axis, and then my average, minimum, maximum, and threshold of safety values will appear in the legend for the figure. So that's looking better right away. Now again, this right now, as you can see here under chart type in the setup menu, is a column chart. And again, that's not what we want. We want that combo graph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the drop down menu, and you'll see it's listed under line, but we want to go to this one right here. And if I mouse over it, it labels it as combo chart. You can see it has both line and columns to it. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. We'll select that. Now, again, the computer's just trying to predict what we want, and right now it thinks we want the average to be columns, which is correct, but it's got minimum and maximum values as lines, and then the threshold of safety as a line as well. To be honest, the only one that we want as a line is the threshold of safety, because that'll kind of set the bar, so to speak, to see, do our values ever breach that threshold of safety in the school? And that gives us a way of kind of determining what's the overall health of the high school. So to make our adjustments here, right, average is fine, that series is okay, but if I click on the red line for minimum, that takes me to the series menu, and I can see that right now under formatting, it's a line. I want to make that columns. And I'll do the exact same thing for maximum, pretty easy fix, and that's looking great already. I don't know about your personal data, but for my data, I can see that for all 3 of my samples, all three environments that I kind of recorded data for all three metrics, the average, minimum, and maximum values, none of those breach the threshold of safety. So that's actually really good news. It's not too loud in the high school, at least the locations that I was exploring. Now, the other thing we have to do here is we need to go ahead and put our horizontal and vertical axes labels. So again, under Chart Editor and Customize, I can close the Series dropdown and let's go into Chart and Axes titles. Again, I don't want to have a chart title here. That's going to go in our figure caption that we'll work on later. But let's go ahead and select horizontal axis title. I want to put something that's descriptive for the three different environments that I'm working on. I'm going to keep it simple and generic. We'll just go with something like location. All right. Again, you can label these whatever you want on your data table. If you want to put like media center, wood shop, and the auditorium, that's fine. Whatever like locations you went to, that's fine too. I just tried to keep it generic for the example here. But by labeling it location, now I have a good descriptor for those three. And then for the vertical axis, so we'll go ahead and select that from the drop-down menu. These numbers over here, they represent sound intensity. And so that's probably the best label I can put. Help if I could spell. Oh, there we go. So sound intensity, and then in parentheses, I'll put decibels, which we abbreviate lowercase d, capital B. And believe it or not, that's kind of it. That's the combo graph in a nutshell. So pretty easy to work with. And then in the future, we'll focus on creating your figure caption to help us kind of analyze and explain that data a little bit. But for the moment, this is all you need to do to have your combo graph. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye now.